So the Laser I3 program definitely helps improve an quality of instruction so that students are exposed to more inquiry-based learning so that when they get to these classes in high school and college and they're given this type of curriculum, this is not the first time they've been exposed to it.
So I see that the level of engagement has increased with the STC kits because when they're experimenting, they're more engaged, they're more willing to ask questions, willing to talk about what they're experimenting, whereas when they're just reading about it, they're not willing to have the same kind of focus or attention to it as they are when they're experimenting with it.
The Smithsonian materials amaze me, especially the literacy component. They tie in directly to the lesson so well that even the reluctant readers after completing the lesson are actively wanting to get to the reading and engaged to see what more they can learn about the activity they've just completed.
I like science class because we can work with our partners and that we know as a friend.
I love the participation. I love putting my students in groups. The kids love it, and they learn from each other.
I may say it a certain way and the kids don't get it, but then I've noticed that when they're working in partners and they're collaborating, I see that their form of language, they seem to understand it. And I see them teaching each other, which is pretty awesome. I like that.
Oh, it's working.
See that?
My teaching has changed. Using the STC kit, now I do notebooking in math and in language, not just in science. And it has helped a lot with the kids with their writing skills.
When we do the experiment, we talk about it, we think about it, and we write about it. And we predict something and we write it in our journals and we see if our prediction is right.
In my other classroom, I have 4 newcomers, which is non-English speakers, and I group them up with someone that's an English speaker, and they get it. They get because it is hands-on. They can see what everybody else is doing and understand that, oh, if I make a circuit, I can see what that circuit looks like, and I can draw it, and even though I'm writing this in Spanish, I know what it is. You know, next to it, I can write it in English, so I can identify with what it is.
2, 3.
Ooh, I love the training. I actually got a chance to go for the full week and actually go through each one of the lessons and making sure that we understood exactly how to do each lesson, as well as we had the level 2 deepening understanding so that we understood the background behind the units we were teaching for the kids. So that was very good for adult learning purposes. So it was very good training. It was one of the best I've ever been to.
The level 1 training is really wonderful because it allows teachers to do each step of the kit as an adult learner. So they're building science content as they work through the kit themselves, but they're also developing a comfort with how to manage materials and what it's going to look like when they take it back to the classroom.
Allowing the children to explore and engage in learning, I think that has always been the key to education. 10, 20 years from now, they may not remember everything about electric circuits, but they'll know, oh, this is a conductor. They know this is the insulator. A lot of the material that they can learn here, it's applied more to real world as they get older, and then they can actually explore careers.
I really like the manuals because it does give me more in-depth information, and I bring it into my classroom, which is making more inviting and at the same time making us a stronger school.
Oh, I love doing science because it's the one place that kids can be creative now. And just see them create something, to see them sit there and problem solve and talk through with a partner how this needs to be done, and just the interaction between them. It gets me very excited because I see the learning, and I love it. And as an educator, it's very exciting to have that kit. And to know that everything I need is in there. Like I said, it's a treasure box. Everything is in there, and I wish I had one for every single topic that I'm teaching. It would be perfect. That would.
Wow. If I don't implement that love of learning in them, they're gonna leave my room, and I don't know where they'll end up. You know, I don't want my children to be those kids that hate learning. I want them to love it.
My favorite part of working with the Laser I3 kit is seeing them working on the experiments and seeing the learning happen without them even realizing it's happening. It's a joy to me to see the light bulb go off on their head and all based on them doing experiments with the STC kit.
So to continue the laser eye 3 study, and these kits are definitely something I would be a proponent for, and to make sure that teachers are actually taught exactly how they need to do it, but as well as the background knowledge they need to be a better science teacher so that we can actually teach our kids the way we know they're going to need it to progress in this world that we're working on with STEM and all the wonderful engineering and math fields that we have for students these days.